Welcome to my channel. This week we're going to cover, let's say we're going to do we're going to go over a Supreme Court case, People versus Harper. And we're going to put a twist to it. We're going to relate it to the red light camera program. The red light camera program. Like I said, I've done over 200 videos, and I've exposed a lot of unethical practices and perfect money laundering scheme, perfect enrichment plan by the professional class. The first thing we do at Corruption CZAR Network is what? Take the oath. I will support, defend, and protect the U.S. Constitution. That's what we do here at Corruption CZAR Network. Okay, I sit on a special corruption task force. When somebody new to the task force show up, I'll give them a basic test. Usually I'll give them a, let's say, a violation or citation or suspension and say, hey, read it and tell me how many mistakes in there. But before what I'm going to do is let you cheat on the test. And I'm going to show you some, what I do in my typical video. I'll show you where I'm coming from, the way I think. Okay? Remember, I have won in court at every level of court so far. And I'm being blocked at the highest court right now. The appellate court passed me on to the Supreme Court. Right now, there's a lot of unethical practices going on now. So I go through the back channel or way around it. And another option I got is to go through the governor's office. We're working on that. So here we go. If you've been watching most of my video the last couple of years, I point out, you're a politician to protect your rights. What do you mean by that? Your elected officials, mayor, commissioner, congressman, senator, they are your representative. They have to act like you're a lawyer. You're a watchdog. They have to protect your rights first over safety. What comes first, safety or right? It's rights all the time. Okay? Okay, let me go back over this again. I think your representative, your mayor, commissioner, congressman, senator, okay, sheriff, state attorney, public defender, all elected official, and they all took the same oath: support and defend the Constitution. They said, look, remember, you have to protect citizen rights first, okay? So look, your representative should act like your attorney, okay? Your interest first. Remember, your interest before the government or a business. That's what they're supposed to be done. And a watchdog. As a watchdog, as your attorney, they're supposed to protect your rights. The government must obey the law and follow legal procedure to safeguard. That's proper due process. You're entitled to proper due process, okay? The Bill of Rights. It's not a list of things the government gives. It's a list of things they cannot take away from you. I mean, due process, a right to a court hearing, okay? Okay, your representative, okay? Let's read this. Our Constitution cannot be amended by statute, while the legislature can legislate to protect your right. Commissioner, mayor, state attorney office, sheriff's department, public defender. See? State attorney, they cannot legislate them away. That's the most important, people. Remember, they're supposed to look out for your interests. Okay? All law must protect your interests. And guess what? The courts. It is a fundamental constitutional right which must be protected by the courts. The courts can protect your right. When you go to court, the judge will protect your right, not enforce what the government wants. Because government like you deceptive practices. Okay, government employees got a thing called code of ethics. Okay, same with law enforcement. Okay, same with judges. Same with anybody with a license got a code of ethics. Okay, before we get to deceptive practice, let me go over this. See, the government likes to lie to you. They misinform people. They like to trick, fool, or corrupt you out of your rights or force you to pay something. They let's say here we go. The gap between what you learn in law school and school, what is actually practiced is still problematical. So what you taught in school don't match up what I'm telling you here, okay? Basically, if you read the Florida statute, all the laws, guidelines, they circumvent due process, proper due legal procedure, civil and criminal procedure, okay? Then they get a gap between what you learn in subject you taught in school and like I say, what the law is. Guidelines are not laws. So when the government write laws, statute, ordinance, they let you deceptive practice, circumvent proper procedure, circumvent it, work around it, okay? Before we get to the guideline image, I'm going to talk about this. This is the legislature intent to create a chapter to make uniform traffic law apply throughout the state. Okay? And it's several county uniform traffic ordinance apply to all municipalities. That means a yellow light is the same in every city, every county in the state of Florida. Okay? The city, the county, the red light can't change the definition, what they want. Okay? Right here. It's make it unlawful for any local authority to pass, attempt to enforce ordinance that conflict with provisions. Okay? Like I said, they cannot change uniform traffic law for the camera company. Because I show you that what they write on red and right is different. They write you must come complete stop. All you did is slow down purity. Same thing with yellow light. Yellow light, see, people are following the yellow light. Warning, the light is changing to red. Stop if you can't safely. It's extremely dangerous being innocent when the light turns red. So guess what? People are not running red light. They follow exactly what the instructions tell you to do on red lights. Okay, we talk about deceptive practices. See, what governments do is they do deceptive practice. They trick and fool your rights away. See, what they do is this. According with written guidelines provided by government. You see how they get around this uniform traffic laws? See what I'm talking about? Okay, let's get into the people versus Horton case, people. I'm going to put a twist to it. I'm going to apply it to the red light camera program. Remember, we went over these things, but the government will protect your rights and stuff like that. Okay. Your silence can't be used against you. That's Fifth Amendment right. You can't be tricked, fooled, or give up away your rights. You see what I'm saying? So when they write guideline policies, the government cannot trick you and fool you away your rights. Okay, you have major violation of privacy rights. Okay, what happened in the camera program? They use mainly auto integrity in the state. They put the camera company able to put false information in state database. Okay, so basically, a police officer to stop a motor vehicle or detain a person for questioning is not withhold constitutional restriction. Okay, so basically you better know the law. It better be a crime. Remember, basically if you drive down the road, you had to be in the act of a crime to government for the police to stop you. Suspicion or unusual things is not the ground for probable cause. Okay, basically in this generally the such extent or such as a reasonable person, okay, you or me, cop, yet use common sense when they see something happen to do their job, okay, to make it a criminal offense, you have to be specific. The officer might point out, okay, is it an actual fact, okay, reference irrational, okay. But for reasonable warrant to be okay, basically, you just your assumption acting alone suggests it related a crime. Basically, the government, if you make a false assumption and false intention, it's illegal. You can't do that. Violate our rights. So in this Horton case, same thing. Okay, the driver in legal, see what happens? You drive down the road. The camera company, the sheriff department, the police department stop you because the information in the state database are wrong. Okay, that ain't ground to. That's not ground to stop you. The information. What happened? The database system, tag readers, people got liability. Cause remember, the information by camera company they put into the system, they then went to court and win. So it's all fraudulent claims. Okay, so basically, if you drive around and did not break a law, technically they had no right to stop you with a tag reader. Okay, they can't assume what the information in the state database is correct. Because once they show you the driver license, when they ask for the driver license, and you give it them, that's the end of the stop, because you didn't have your day in court. To take away your rights, your privileges, for restrictive fine, you got to have a court hearing, and you got to lose in court. If you never have this court hearing, you never have your due process. So what happened when they write guidelines, policies, statute, ordinance, codes, they work around it and trick you out of your rights. You see what I'm saying? Okay, you drive down the road, and the false information in the state database, the citizen, the right of the citizen to drive the public street with freedom from police interference. You see what I'm saying? The information in the state database was incorrect. It wasn't truthful. They had the cops did not stop us for a tag, a light out, or speeding. They had no legal ground to stop us because of the information in the state database. They got no right to use the computer database when they drive down the road. You see what I'm saying? That's liability to everybody, camera company, the tag agency, the auto tag company, clerk of court, everybody who put the information in the state database got liability because we got a right to drive down the road and not be stopped. Because we're not in look at, unless the person suspected conduct such as with some manner of criminality. I mean, like I said, you cannot stop molesting the act of a crime, a criminality. Driving down the road, an information state database, okay, and violate your right for the citizen to drive on the sea without police interference. Think about that. Plus, the information in the state database violate privacy rights and laws. You see that? So that's why Horton, a good case, did show that the red light camera program had major liability, because you had the right of the citizen to drive on public street with freedom from police interference. You see that? Okay, unless he engaged in specific conduct such as with some manner of criminality. That means you broke the law of speeding. We drive down the road and they stop because some false information state database violate privacy law rights. They got major liability, everybody who enforced the red light camera program. Same with the sheriff department, state attorney office, public defender, everybody who see, when government, they like to process everybody, not due process. Then you get arrested or get a ticket. Then you gotta go to court, and guess what? The cops, the judge is still enforcing guidelines. Remember, it is a fundamental constitutional right which must be protected by the court. The government is enforcing guidelines. Okay, so what I wrote here, did I get them? The Florida Supreme Court, Florida Appellate Courts, Civil and Criminal Traffic Court are making their ruling based on false procedure, according to written guidelines provided by local government. You see what I'm talking about? What I say here? It's a fundamental constitutional right which must be protected by the courts. The courts enforcing guidelines. That's not their job. They're supposed to protect your rights. By not protecting your right, then they create the people are a second-class citizen. Remember, you've got to protect your rights. You can't be tricked and fooled to give up your right. You can't be chicken full to pay a fine or fee. Okay, the appellate court judge basically said the stop had been illegal. Okay, and the search was illegal. Okay, people, same in relic camp. When I go to court, I won in court too. Basically, it's illegal what they did. Okay, the city in this case, people like Horton. Okay, here what their guideline: it shall be unlawful for any minor of the age to loiter in public street or in above the public place in the city between 11 and 5 p.m. You see how they're saying? That's their guidelines. Okay, it don't match your constitutional right for to travel or be places. You see what I'm talking about? Another thing you have to deal with is, same with the Attorney General arguing that the office had reason public cause. No, they're enforcing the city guideline of the thing. Okay, we're getting to the end, people. So thank you for coming in and check out this how I took the people version Horton tape and apply it to the red camera case. Remember, city ordinance guidelines are not civil criminal procedure. Okay, when government write laws, they circumvent proper procedure with a process system. See, government like to use a process system to circumvent the court with evidence. Okay, process you. They can't do that. Okay, we're gonna beat them. Okay, what you gonna do when corruptions are help you? Thank you for tuning in.